So Sunday, February 23rd, 2014, 2018 Pacific Standard, PM Pacific Standard Time. So I did a recording today because there's a resident here by the name of Michael who decided to provoke a situation outside. And I was hosting my show and he decided to tell another resident how I talk shit all day as I read, articles about the NSA and everything. So what ended up happening was we got into it and then he lost it. And when he lost it, he started talking about how ugly I was, but more importantly, he started talking about, did I see myself in the mirror? And did I see my eyes in the mirror? And how I looked at myself all the time in the mirror as I was talking. So let me explain something to you. This is where I'm sitting. This is my desktop. There's a mirror there, correct. That mirror right there is to look at the door because it's behind me. So I'm just one of those type of people that do that. What you don't see anywhere in the mirror from where my desktop is, sitting lower, is my face. So how could you see my eyes, or how do you know what my eyes look like, and where's my face that I'm apparently was looking at myself in the mirror? Now what I do have here is something from the American Civil Liberties Union called the Bill of Rights. So what I'm showing here is, here if I'm sitting, working on my desktop, typing away, whatever, even if I looked up, yes, I would be looking up, but you don't see my face like he claimed that somehow I was looking at myself in the mirror and did I see my eyes? The actual answer to that question is no, I can't see my eyes. So now let's turn around and see what might be reflecting from this angle that could see my face that's sitting here where I'm doing my desktop. So if you turn around and look, what you see is the mirror. What you then see are some odd things on the walls like this. What you also see is the smoke alarm. And then you see some other forms of patches and cuts and lining and stuff that's been placed up in the ceiling area. Okay? So then if I were to sit back down and go back to my business on my desktop or my computer, and if I were to look up, even if I'm close up, and yeah, I'm looking up, but you don't see my face. So what is he talking about when you see my eyes in the mirror? Don't I look, because I'm always looking at my face. Well, actually, I'm not. But maybe this invasion of privacy is. Because if you were to take the reflection from the other area where the door is and look in the mirror, you could probably see my face and the work that I'm doing here. So like I'm saying, I'm sitting here. He accuses me of looking at myself in the mirror all the time. Does anybody see my face as I'm sitting right here? You don't see my face. You don't see me looking at my eyes. I can't see my eyes because you can't see my face. What you might see is someone who was doing surveillance from the door area that was looking into the mirror and probably seen the reflection of my face while I was working on my desktop. So, that's one big issue. Invasion of privacy. And paying for a residential location that is being completely exploited and invaded. And residents making slips about how ugly I was and did I see my own eyes when I was talking while I looked at myself in the mirror. Well, I can't see myself in the mirror because I'm down below here doing what I'm doing. But he might be able to see me if he's violating my privacy because he's coming in, they're coming in from another angle that would look and reflect back here. So now they might say, well, we saw it from the outside. Let me show you something from the outside, looking into my room. If you were standing outside, so they might make a false claim, oh, we were looking inside. Well, even if you look inside, where the computer is, you're not going to see the mirror. You know why you're not going to see it? Because you see that little green thing there? It covers it. So even a spacious claim like stating that you were looking through the window and you saw me looking at myself through the mirror, you still couldn't see it from outside. Why? Because it's not showing. So the point, you may ask, what is this all about? Well, it's about invasion of privacy. It's about exploiting a human being who pays rent in a private residential location where other people decide that they can say whatever they want to, like this gentleman, Michael, calling me ugly, telling me that I look at myself in the mirror all the time when I'm talking or hosting my show, that I'm really, really ugly and how everybody thinks I'm so ugly. And don't I see my eyes when I'm looking at myself in the mirror? But once again, here I'm sitting. This is I would be on the computer. So if I were to look up, as I'm sitting this is my eye level. If I were to look up, you're not going to see my face. You're not going to see my eyes, even though I might be looking up at the door. You can't see my face. So where did he come off as a resident making such a claim about being able to see, or did I see my eyes? And that when I'm on the phone, I'm always talking or looking at myself because I talk shit all day because I'm covering all this NSA stuff and my targeting. So isn't that amazing that if I were to look up where I'm sitting right here, this is my body, you see my hand, even if I were to look up, as I do often, look to the left because that's where I hold the phone, you can see my hand here, okay? But you don't see my face because I'm sitting in this direction here. So straight up above me would be this. If I look to the left, you don't see my face. You don't see my eyes. You don't see anything. Why? Because I'm not looking at myself. But if somebody were looking from an angle, say around these areas, and they were looking through the mirror, you'd probably see the reflection of me sitting over here. And as I'm looking at this area, when I'm looking up from my desktop, and I'm looking up, then they might be thinking that I'm looking at myself. So this shows you what I'm saying is something called extensive invasion of privacy. That the resident makes a comment by yelling at me outside in a public area, how I look in the mirror. Do I see what I look like? Because I'm always looking at myself in the mirror, how ugly I am, how everybody thinks I'm ugly. And don't I see my eyes when I'm looking at myself in the mirror? Because I'm always talking and looking in the mirror. Well, yeah, because I'm looking at the door because I'm wondering when that crazy ass motherfucker might come through it. So I got to have a mirror to watch my back. So once again, the only other thing you see is something called the Bill of Rights. You know what that is, don't you? So I look at that when I look up too, because it ever reminds me of the constitutional rights that are being violated by the state corporate and academia sponsored, sanctioned, and covered up domestic terrorist organization with their civilian, cult-driven, radicalized extremist informant community.